see what's possible with North America reaching out to everybody in the world right now, trying to find new players to bring them over to North America so that the North American teams can have an impact. Maybe that's what he's got on his table right now. Maybe he finally got like some kind of juicy offer from a North American team. And, you know, either you travel the world a little bit, you go and live somewhere else, you live life and have some fun, or you stay and you keep getting beat up with Flipside. Maybe Bondic is finally thinking, okay, you know, it's time for change.
Well, let's hope he makes a nice sort of kind of impact or, you know, impression here again, because I can imagine people will be keeping his eye on him because just, you know, once you're in the headlines, I guess people do start to pay more attention. He's not exactly a quiet player anyway. He has been the consistent factor for Flipside to, you know, quite some degree, and then everyone puts their faith in Markloff every now and then, but that seems to, you know, always go to the wayside. But Train is not going to be an easy place to play this on. Don't get me wrong, Flipside are great on this in their own way, and they've had a close-ish game previously against NaVi. I think it was like 16-10, not that close, but you know, for Flipside against NaVi, that's not bad, and it's on Train. So NaVi's pretty much godly at this map, at least to my eyes. I think they're one of the most solid. Their T-side, I'm thoroughly impressed with every single time I see it. So what real chance do you think Flipside has here?
Nil, 0. But this is a good opportunity for everybody tuning into the match, you know, to get some hot cocoa, maybe, you know, curl up on the couch, get a nice blanket, and get comfy. Because both of these teams literally have like the slowest style in the history of CS.
True. We've got a lot of time, don't we?
Flipside are known for waiting down the clock. NaVi are known for waiting down the clock. Both of these teams are very methodical in their approach, and so that leads to, you know, slower pace CS. NaVi have been showing that they're willing to change things up and get aggressive now, and we're seeing that now. You know, very quick split onto the A side here in the pistol. But yeah, we'll see what they actually decide to go with here. Flipside are going to be a little bit more YOLO.
Yeah, and Flipside only having 2 players with armor, one of those already being chunked down, that being Markloff, means that Bondic really has to be, again, that consistent factor, and he's doing exactly that. Lovely little pick up towards Flamey and Zeus, cutting off the players from Ivy, but it's still a 3v3. The bomb's gonna be planted pretty soon, and Flipside are keeping themselves in this, and Bondic isn't done just yet.
Yeah, Bondic, it's like the adrenaline factor. You know you're out, you're on the way out, you don't care anymore. There's no pressure on you to perform. You're just going to be able to do some work. And Shara, he's actually been delivering for Flipside, keeping them competitive. He will get snuffed by Guardian. So one-on-one, but Bondic has the advantage of HP. He can just charge forward, be brutal with it, and he will get the kill. A quad kill in the pistol as well. And that's such a difficult position to play on the map. You know, that Ivy sort of area, you're always at risk of just getting rushed down. Like we saw at the beginning of this match. Who was actually standing over there? Was it Markloff? Didn't notice, but regardless.
I think it was Markloff.
You're always going to die over there pretty much. But Bondic, he actually, you know, went for the late rotate and got some nice free, easy frags and, you know, made it look easy.
And I think you're perfectly spot on with the adrenaline topic as well. It's once you kind of remove the shackles, you get these players just kind of being a little bit more relaxed, a little bit carefree in a way, but they want to, you know, obviously make a good impression. You get probably some of the better CS they're going to bring, because they have no pressure really now in the grand scheme of things. So a really good start for them. NaVi, we're taking it pretty relaxed. They did get the bomb plant down, so not going to be going above and beyond on this purchase. Just a couple of flashes, a Tech 9, P250, and they get another plant. That's not too bad, but you've got World Edit and Shara to lock down the B site here.
Yeah, and they're going to be holding close as well, because this can be a standard follow-up. You get the bomb plant on A site. Where's the other site that's usually pretty easy to get a plant? You go to B, couple flashes, run out, hope that you can overrun the guy quickly. And he's got a Tech 9. Great positioning for Shara, though. They just line up, but he is going to get traded 1-for-1. And World Edit trying to dance around and do the best that he can, but he will get run down as well. This is what we're talking about. Bomb has made it onto the train, and they just need to stick it at this point. Edward, don't care about getting frags. Get that bomb down, get that bonus money. And it's a successful round for NaVi.
Yep, that's all they could have asked for. Minimal investment, plant coming out of it. Shame that World Edit and Shara got so overrun, then the UMPs can do a little bit more than that, I feel. Normally, of course, they do kind of do a little bit better against armor as well. They're one of the guns that can do pretty decently against out of the SMGs. But still, it was, again, Bondic, 3K coming in. This guy's having a great time. He's like, well, this has been a real nice start for me. I can just coast now for the rest of this. It's good. Doing better than Cajun B did, so that's perfect. But no, 2-0 already for Flipside. NaVi, with the 2 plants coming in the early rounds, of course they can go for the buy now. Guardian, however, going to have to be a little bit cautious, but he actually has the drop coming into the AWP, so actually a really nice buy coming in for NaVi.
Yeah, I mean, double bomb plant, it's a bonus $1,600 on top of the loss bonus. I mean, yeah, they made some decent money, NaVi, in the first couple of rounds. And now, look at this. World Edit decides to go aggressive at Alley. He's going to pick off Seized, and a great flash to slow down Flamey. No possibility here for a refrag to start things off for NaVi.
Yeah, lovely combination with Markloff there, just holding the angle as well in case they got past the flash. So kind of writing around everything, but NaVi kind of maybe looking for that counter flex here, looking maybe towards B, getting the pressure down. Shara's had to back away pretty early. They've pulled players off of A now, but the bomb's yet to commit. It's not really gone anywhere, but again, NaVi Oh, this is beautiful. Look at it. He walled it. You're a monster. I love that. Just predicting the boost coming out. That's just sick.
That just sucks for Guardian because they went for it. They were about to set up for it. I thought that when they got up there, they were going to set up for it immediately, but he decided to actually like nade up first, and it took him a couple seconds. That allowed for World Edit to get in there. Had they gone straight for the boost, Guardian would have been in position, and he would have had the angle on World Edit. So just a couple seconds off. That's all the difference. That's all the difference for Flipside. Two entry kills now going on to well, whichever site that they really want to hold on to here, Flipside.
Yeah, putting 3 players towards B for Flipside so far. I guess trying to support maybe Shara is so low, he can't really be left to solo out on B or be supported by World Edit. So the one thing here though is Flamey's gotten pretty far, completely unspotted. Markov's playing pretty deep towards Ivy, and Edwards found Bondic. So now this is looking pretty good. There's Flamey coming into it. Now where's the final player on this side? They gotta know he's gonna be Markov. Gotta know he's been here before. They picked him up in that first pistol round very comfortably. He comes out though, and World Edit's found Zeus. So we're back to a 3v2.
Still tricky. When you go for the retake on A, there are so many points you have to worry about, but World Edit with that AWP, he can hold that long line, and what the hell? Edward turns away. He didn't see his feet. It looked like he would have spotted his feet there, so questionable, but Flamey's going to be able to hold the line. Not going to get the second one, however. World Edit will shut him down. Still, managing to get 3 kills in this round, NaVi. So they succeeded in making it a little bit more expensive for Flipside, and they continue to get bomb plants, so NaVi still have options. They can actually go for straight up. They could go for a buy if they want, actually. They're right on the edge of it. Or they can just go for Tech 9s. Since they're so good at getting bomb plants right now, go for Tech 9s. But I guess not, no.
Kind of
Whatever.
like a middle ground of both, I guess. Like you got, they got Lil with Flamey. They want to get the buyout, I guess. They're not too keen, I guess, on the Tech 9s. They've never been a team to completely go to that idea, even though maybe it'd be a safer option to a degree, but we'll see. NaVi are getting close, that's the thing. But now I've got double up with Flipside as well. Markolov running with that one, so that'd be curious to see where he's taking it. So he's just going to be locking down Ivy again. Shara's soloing out on B for now, as well as it is playing by Connector. So a bit of a slow start here for NaVi, but definitely tending towards that B side to start with.
Yeah, they are definitely. I mean, they see the aggressive smoke go down, so that's why they're all just kind of camping out here to wait and see if anybody was going to try and push up onto the railing there on the CT side, if they were going to get a free kill out of that. But no aggression out of Flipside, just a smoke to buy some time. But NaVi, yeah, again, they're not showing any subtlety here. They're just going to go charging onto this site because they've had success in getting bomb plant down. They do not wait for the smoke to go down to block off World Edit, and he's just going to be punishing them. Nearly gets a second kill as well through that smoke, and Shara, he's just dancing, waiting on the edge, and Guardian just gets lucky through it.
Timing is everything, I guess, in these. NaVi have successfully taken over the site. They've got the bomb plant down. They have 4 players alive. They could easily recover that rifle towards Zeus towards the end. Maybe they don't want to run through that smoke just yet, but Blade fancies a go at trying to retake this. There's World Edit, Blade, and Markolov still standing. Both of the orbs still in place. Are kind of awkward to play on the retake here, but I'm just going to start running out. Guardian's still playing close. Everyone else backing away. Blade's going to try his hand at it, but dangerous game to be running into, and now slowly working down NaVi, actually. They've got the 3v2. Zeus has to come down, find Blade, and now back into the 2v2. It's World Edit to find Zeus, and Flamey just trying to hold on by the time, and I think he might be able to do this. World Edit is so low, and the spray from the Galil comes out, and Flamey locks down the round. NaVi, even though they got fairly close, do end up coming out with the goods, and I guess going in on that buy in the end did work out.
Yeah, they had a plan. They were actually able to execute, even though I thought it was a little shaky, not waiting for the smoke to go up. They basically donated seized. NaVi still managed to make it work, and that's just because they were able to push aggressively and actually get out there. Guardian was on his, all by his lonesome, but at the initial push, basically, when Flipside were trying to rotate in, the whole plan is NaVi get the bomb plant and then try and take the fight at Connector, try and catch them as they went through. That backfired when Blade just hit that instant headshot, but you could see what NaVi were thinking of. They were going through the, kind of textbook play on that B site. But now NaVi, yeah, they're the ones in control. It's a forced buy out of Flipside because of how close a couple of the rounds have been. They don't quite have the money for a full buy across the board, so it's just a couple of rifles to work with here.
Yes, you might as well. Your economy's going to be screwed into the next round as well, so you might as well get what you can. Bit of a trade out to start with. Although NaVi do have control of like Train 1, bit of Ivy. Flipside being fairly respectful of that until World Edit did take the peek towards Guardian, but still a couple of players here trailing around, and actually it's doing work. How are they getting these kills at the moment? NaVi had the advantage, they had the map control. Finally Flamey's come into this, finding World Edit, but it's down to a 2v2 now.
This isn't very neat. This is definitely very, very messy stuff. They do end up fighting together in the end, NaVi, but again, it's just a series of duels. We've literally witnessed like 5-6 duels here. It's just like, I'm going to peek you, and then I'm going to peek you back, and it's all over the place. they don't even save the op. So does Seas take the hit and drop the op for Guardian? Or no, it seems like they're just going to commit to rifles. They know that it's going to be an eco round here for Flipside.
Yeah, so it's just farming time. UMP's coming out. Zeus and Edward should be leading the way. Should be just trying to get as many kills as they can, trying to get that economy nice and robust going forward. Try and keep as many AWPs in the hand of Guardian as possible, but for Flipside, it's going to be a double eco pretty much no matter what they did, unless they pulled off a bit of a miracle and saved all of the weapons. So P250s just going to try and do the damage. Stacking towards A with 4 players, only Shara pushing up by B. They know what's now coming their way, but you can't really do too much. Or in theory, you shouldn't be able to do too much, and so far NaVi are keeping true to that. Excluding Blade, who's found 2, actually.
Yeah. He's actually, wow, Blade is hitting shots. World Edit and Blade really doing a lot of work here for Flipside, making it interesting for NaVi. But NaVi stabilize in the end. They save all 3 rifles, and that's the important bit. No, not too worried about donating UMPs. Those only cost $1,200, so it's not a huge investment for them. Definitely want to keep those AKs alive. And now Guardian, he's able to go for the just hard buy on that AWP. World Edit, he just barely has enough for the glass cannon op on his own, but they are light on nades Flipside tactics. So now it's a question of whether they're going to just be able to continue forcing these duels out of NaVi, because if you don't have the nades to really, slow up the execute, you just want to start getting those picks.
It's a little bit of a different style for NaVi here. Normally, Flamey's been joining down by Ivy to try and support out Seized and maybe Guardian if they're going for it. But a bit of a default, really, I guess, more than anything. Just seeing if anyone's going to push up. Guardian taking his time by Ivy. Bear in mind, World Edit did go pretty aggressive last time with the AWP. He actually pushed Ivy with the first time he had it, so that was quite impressive. But again, NaVi keeping that all into mind and just seeing what opportunities they can get so far. And Flipside, just waiting it out, having to bide their time as well. These two teams do like to run the clock down, and NaVi can go back to that default A, get those smokes over, play into it, and you can assume that Guardian will probably hit a shot going in. So, fairly safe bet until actually Edward gets caught out there.
He gets caught, but how? Where the hell did that come from?
Was he in pop?
I thought so, but then nobody was in pop with him. How the hell did Edward die? Well, that's bizarre. Okay, then. Well, they're down a man, NaVi. No idea how Edward died. They were all looking like they were holding very passively NaVi, and it didn't look like anybody was put. Okay, there we go. That's how it did it. Wow. Well, okay then, because I'm just like, nobody is like seeing each other like anybody right now. So how the hell are they doing this? Another question is, how the hell does Blade get that follow-up kill on Flamey?
That's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Now it's just Sees there like, what the hell happened this round? We had, a slow default building going in towards A possibly, and then suddenly Edward just gets trashed going towards B. He was holding at the top of pop. It was just so weird that he just disappeared.
Awkward.
That's gotta suck.
Yeah, that's really like, you could tell, I guess that kind of tilted NaVi, because after that, like, okay, go, whatever, right, go. But yeah, Edward getting wall banged at the windows above Pop Dog, that sucks. Nice job from Bondic.
Yeah, incredibly impressive.
Especially because NaVi played it right as well. Like they just sat back. They were waiting to see if Flipside were going to feel the pressure and feel like they had to make a play. And so NaVi, yeah, they're setting up for their execute, but they're also sitting way back because Flipside have already shown aggression at Ivy. So they're sitting there with like a firing squad, like, oh, hey, if you want to push World Edit, feel free, come at us, bro. We're gonna we're gonna pick you off, and then we'll go into our execute, and everything will go according to plan. Only problem is they weren't expecting Edward to get his head banged off through the window.
Hard to predict that sort of thing, I guess, but there we go. So now down to a bit of a hit and miss by Guardian. Still is the AWP, everyone else on the Beagles. A little bit of armor with Zeus and Edward, but Edward again getting tagged up here. Probably not having the best of times right now, but at least this time it's not completely through a wall, so relatively warranted. And they're basically playing bodyguard for Guardian, so he can have a little peek towards that outer sight. See if he can find Blade or Bondic, who are playing on top of the trains, and actually does manage to catch Bondic, making his move up from the site. Flamey finds Blade, and piece by piece they're unraveling the site.
Oh, what a shot from Seas. That's the difference maker right there. Markelov could have held the line. Could have stopped NaVi from getting out onto that site. Instead, he gets picked off by Seized, long range with a Tech 9, and now there's not a whole lot that World Edit and Shara can hope to do. They have a single flash, no kit, and all 5 members still alive here for NaVi. So this is a nightmare situation for Flipside. They will get the 1 pick onto Seized, but again, Seized had a Tech 9, so they don't really care about that. Now NaVi know where one of their players is coming from, and it's a free kill for Flamey, who's prepared for him. So now it's, World Edit just playing keep away. Keep the op away from NaVi.
They don't need any more help to get these AWPs going. They're doing pretty well, and considering they only had a couple of pistols here and there, the only real player who was invested in that was Guardian. But it was Flamey coming in, and you saw that Tech 9 coming out. These are crazy rounds. These are rounds you shouldn't see happening, but this is the difference, isn't it, really, when you break these two teams down. Flipside, you rarely see them pulling this sort of stuff off, but At least catches Zeus, so making it a little more costly. Bearing in mind, Navi's money wasn't phenomenal. They've got more than enough to buy now, but they could have really started to secure their economy if they kept some of those weapons up as well. But still, looking at the other side of things, Flipside are absolutely skint at this point.
Yeah, they're in a bit of a tight spot right now. They're just going to have to hope that World Edit can give them the space to work with the way the Guardian did in the last round for NaVi.
It's a big ask as well. I think they're going to go for that peek towards, through Brown Halls, have a little look up. Zeus is heading this way.
Well, they haven't really gone aggressive in Brown Halls yet, so it's a good time to try it. Unfortunately, the man backing him has only got a USP, that's Shara, so not really the best firepower. And Zeus is playing it very carefully, very safe as well. So instead, it's going to be Seized working his way up on Ali. He's got that bomb, so this is going to be a dead giveaway here to Flipside, and Markelov is waiting around that corner with the CZ. So perfect position for Markelov. He gets a kill for free, but instantly traded on. Well done there by NaVi.
And the timing of Edward working his way out of T-Con pretty much secures that outer sight as well. A's pretty much under wraps now. Shara and Bondic have a chance to do some damage. They're in a little bit of an interesting spot, but World Edit being so low, I don't think he wants to go for this. Again, keep the AWP away, but they haven't even got the bomb down yet. And Bondic...
Zeus had no idea. He was like, where am I getting shot from? Where is he? Freaking out. A little bit of a heart attack moment there for Zeus.
And I love the way they're taking the time to plant so they can ensure they do try and get these guns away, especially what World Edit is holding on to. Not going to be so easy this time, but imagine Zeus actually is going to try and give a little go at it. Just playing with him. Flamey's on
where
it
it
well.
is. Yeah, exactly. If Zeus is just trying to draw attention to himself and then he steps out, okay then, that's a little silly. Just because, with Flamey there soon enough, Guardian will get the drop on him, but Flamey, Guardian, everybody closing in. All you had to do is be patient and just make sure that he was distracted. And Zeus trying to be the hero there ends up costing NaVi, because at that point, NaVi don't necessarily, I mean, it's like he saves the op, okay then, right? Your economy isn't, not everybody's sitting on 10,000, so if you keep all 3 rifles alive, you're pretty happy about that. Now NaVi, they have to spend a little bit more than they would have liked. This might come back to help Flipside further down the line, although Flipside are in a bit of a tight spot themselves.
Has Zeus only got a Glock? Yeah.
The hell is he doing?
He could have put up maybe a Tech 9 or... I don't know.
Watch him. He's going to actually like bait somebody now, or like shank him or something. I don't know. He's going to get a gun somehow.
Just going to follow
Too
Guardian
late, bro.
around.
Too
it's
late.
like, no. What are you doing? No. Did someone drop for him and you didn't notice?
Maybe that's what's up, yeah. Wow.
What is he doing? Can we just watch Zeus for a second? He's still looking for the gun, but I guess the trades have come in, but there is no gun here. Zeus can't find it for the life of him. He's baffled.
The gun is a cake.
And look at it. It's
a
now
lie.
3v3, and Bondic... Actually, Zeus could do some damage here towards Bondic, but I think Bondic just heard the steps. He does, and Zeus, what a round.
Well, Edward comes back into it with the AWP, and we're into a 2-on-2 with plenty of time to play with here for NaVi, so not the end of the world, far from it. Now it's all about outsmarting the 2 remaining players here for Flipside. World Ed, it's actually got a very nice spot, though. He's on upper, so Edward might never expect this, but it does look like they want to try and head over towards A site. And, well, Flamey's working his way through A main, so if he gets the peek on a Blade, could get nasty here for Flipside.
Again, though, Edward could pull off some cheeky timing on this as well, and they are going to trade out in the end, and World Edit gets caught a little with his pants down there, but the USPS still lands so perfectly. Edward on 3 HP, World Edit on 17. Still not great, and Blade has to be the big factor here, as does Flamey. Create a space to work from. The smoke goes down towards Connector. Flamey's on the site. You can see them pushing back. Flamey trying to get the control and looking for more. World Edit going to be playing on the retake, as is Blade. Flamey holding the cross. And now with the bomb planted, time is certainly against Flipside, but Blade's gone and found Edward at least. And now it's Flamey. Wow. In a 1v2.
Boop. First one. Does he spot the second? Does he hear the footsteps? No, he just doesn't need to. He gets the headshot anyway. And saves the op for Guardian. So NaVi, they come out ahead in the end. That was a big round for Flipside. They put all their money into it. And so now they're stuck around 3,000, 2,700, as you guys can see. Not a whole lot to speak of. And they're slowly losing control of the situation. Flamey's got 11 grand in the bank now, and NaVi have got a great opportunity to just farm up in this round. If they play it right, shouldn't drop anybody. And then their economy should just be super solid for the rest of this half. No reason for NaVi to go crazy. They are moving together as a group, as a unit, up into Brown Halls, it looks like, for now. And
What?
that is a sexy smoke.
Oh, that's incredible. So Shara's going to get mowed down anyway. The theory behind this is great. It basically allows NaVi out for free, assuming that no one's going to be stacking up on B initially with Shara, which actually Shara's been soloing out quite some time. Generally, World Edit will slowly come over. Oh, that is absolutely beautiful to see. So this sort of stuff is why I just find NaVi a real pleasure to watch. Now, Well, will at least find Edward, but bearing in mind that season's Zeus low, there could be some more guns possibly donated over here, but still, it's basically, well done it being hunted down in several angles, but...
Seriously?
That's awkward.
Longest fight of their lives. How the hell does that happen?
I like that smoke a lot.
That was a sick smoke, but it's all right. Edward, he died. But it's all right, because Flamey can just drop him. He's got like 11 grand. So, or Edward can just straight up buy a gun if he wants. They have so much money right now. Edward, please buy a gun. Eventually, Edward will figure it out that none of his teammates are actually going to drop him a gun, and he will just spend some money and buy a gun. Okay, there we go.
What is with this team and buying guns? And when did when did Markov start AWPing again? Because he's been double AWPing now with World at it a couple of times, and that's what you want to see if you're a Markov fan, is him just taking down Guardian on the aggressive peak that they were expecting after World at it tried it out. But has this been a new addition? Because
I could have swore I just heard Anders cooing or something in the background right now, like, ooh, buddy. Yeah, because Anders and Lurpus are pretty much like the Markov fan club. It's just the two of them in it.
I'd join for like a t-shirt or a badge or something, for the monthly letters. Maybe cancel my subscription for now, as C's does manage to take out Markov, and now we're down to just 3 players. Well, Shara and Blade have to keep this one together. Shara's gone a little aggressive here, going to find Zeus. Takes him out, gets control over B, but that's not where NaVi are at the moment. Edward's still lingering around, but let's see if Shara can deal with any more.
Yeah, easiest kill of his life, and he's going to be able to back off as well. Zeus kind of just, once again, stepping all the way out there, being very confident in his fight, but it's not going to pan out for him. 40 seconds left here for NaVi to actually get onto a bomb site, and we'll see if they can manage it. And, well, nice positioning from Shara. He gets out, catches out Edward, who peeks out before his teammates are in position to follow up. So things are just looking a little disjointed for NaVi. If they pushed up together, that would have been a bit of a sad time for Shara, or at least it would have been a 1-for-1 trade. Instead, with 25 seconds left, NaVi, they just run out of options.
And the slow walk down the ramp is not going to particularly help. Seized is, I think, just on the little lip or the edge. No, he's just holding on the right side of it. Going to try and use the molly to bait out the shot, swing across, pick up. What? Okay, P250 is all he needs. All right, bomb plant goes in. Now 1v2. Let's see what you can do, Seized. You've got a flash to work with. 2 players closing in. And a bomb to defend. It's tagged up, spotted out. Spots one on the train, though. Going to try and dance on those ladders, but doesn't go too well. Blade's going to have...
in the end,
yeah, it's just... you can only keep dancing around those ladders so long. So the defuse comes out, but again, though, keeping in mind this is train, and I don't think it's as CT-sided as people may argue. This is still a very strong score for NaVi, considering Flipside got the first 3 rounds.
Yeah.
And it's like, once those guns came out to play, it's not too surprising seeing NaVi just starting to pull it away.
No, especially once they got their economy going. That's the main thing. They've just, everything has gone well for NaVi because they got those 3 rounds, as you guys can see, and then they reset Flipside. Flipside picks up the round, they get their economy reset. It's just this nightmare situation for Flipside where this is like the first round where they get a really solid buy in a long time. So, if you can maintain the economy like this on your opponents, on the CT side in particular, make sure that they never really have as many nades as they would like, all this sort of stuff, it makes your job a whole lot easier on that T side. And while NaVi, they're going to know how to abuse that. Looks like Bondic wants to get lucky again. This time, Edward is not standing there. So no free kills for Bondic. But still, A for effort.
Yeah, worthy try. Markov going to be tested by Seized again. Markov comes out. The victor on that one, at least this time. Guardian's nowhere nearby. But while it happens, NaVi is starting to kind of look towards that B site. Shara and Wadded are actually on the site itself this time. Wadded has pulled himself over early. Likes to maybe support an all kind of mid to late round at this point. Still has Markov with the double AWP, so he doesn't need to kind of worry about A as much. And now the raid boss is here. Now the real... Oh god, Guardian. I was hyping you up and you whiffed the flash. Just clips the ledge. Going to force Markov off the angle. Guardian's going to take the spot. And actually, Markov locks it down again. So... nice work towards Ivy from him. Going to at least keep that area of the map under control. But now the last remaining players from NaVi are pretty well set, actually, by B.
Yeah, this is just fine. And Flipside, ever since they've played it perfectly ever since they got that opening, because then they don't need to really take any risks by having 4 players on A and leaving a single man on B. They can just sit and default. 2 guys on B, 3 on A. Markov winning his duel against Guardian is, just icing on top. So World Edit will find the pick on Flamey. Bomb is dropped now on the lower ramp, and just total annihilation on this B site. Flipside, a perfect round on all fronts. They win their duels. They maintain or should we say, like the structure of their defense. They don't actually, get greedy and try and push out somewhere or give really NaVi any room to work with.
And money's not so perfect now for NaVi. Let's see what they put into this one, because I can imagine it might be the Tech 9 again with Zeus, but seized just with the Tech9 as well. So the economy's starting to wear down now. Obviously, we are getting towards the later part of this first half, so it's not going to be the end of the world for them. And they do like these B hits when they do get on the Tech9s, but again, I wouldn't be surprised if NaVi have another few tricks up their sleeve. They wanted to have the sort of, I guess, utility here. They wanted to have those smokes, those mollies. They wanted to have something to play with, and it looks like the standard set smokes over towards A. Again, wilded it kind of hesitating as to whether or not he fully commits towards B like he did in the last round. This time he's still playing over by connector. So Blade pushing up aggressively as well. This could be a big difference maker. He hasn't really been on this sort of point. More playing by train 1 on top. Just trying to keep it in check, or maybe the bomb as well on bomb train. So let's see what NaVi go for here. They've got plenty of time to work with still.
Yeah, fresh smoke going up though, so that should delay NaVi just a little bit. And they're execute, no reason to rush it. Edward setting up the pop flash for Pop Dog, so he's going to be able to get down there fairly soon, and all the nades are going to go flying out here for NaVi. Flash to open it up. Bondic with the incendiary, though. That's going to definitely make it a bit hot and toasty in that room. They did not sign up for the spa treatment. They did not want to go into the sauna. And so NaVi, they flee, and Bondic gets completely run over by Zeus point blank with that Tech-9. But a massive amount of damage has been dealt here to NaVi, so they're all very low, and they aren't even succeeding in getting that bomb down.
No, it's still into this 3v3. Markelov, Welded, and Chara still standing and actually on the right place at the right time as well. And it's going to be traded out eventually, but it's Markelov still standing, but he needs to go above and beyond now. Flamey and Guardian, the two pretty much heavyweights on this side, at least in this map. Markelov going to be trying to work his way across. One down by Electric, Smokes down by Pop. Guardian still by Train 1 on the flank as well, and I think Markelov's got an idea, but he doesn't think far enough ahead to counter out Guardian. And again, NaVi, you push them to a limit, and they'll still come back with something pretty impressive. It's... What was that?
I don't know.
No, it's
Duncan, it's Thorin, right? He's playing...
was that one of his songs?
Push it to the limit, the limit, the limit. Yeah, I don't know, man.
That's
The green room, the
great
stuff that I've heard in the green room over, like, the duration of Malmo, I will never forget.
It'll never be as
Scarred
bad as
for
what
life.
OJ brought out. Like, OJ's music was the worst thing in the world before Cologne, but...
See, that's the thing, man. Thorin is trolling, but it's still good music.
Yeah. Whereas OJ, just awful.
Yeah, he tries, he tries. But, you know, we're not going to... OJ, when do we see OJ again? I guess at London, right?
Hopefully.
For Pro League, yeah, okay. Well, Chara, he's definitely going to see Guardian. But he will see nothing else? No, he actually makes it out alive.
How is
Zeus.
he alive?
Zeus. You see what would have been sick if he'd actually dunked that nade? But still, this is working out nicely here for Flipside. 15th round of the first half. They're right on the edge of getting that 7th round, which would be very nice indeed. But Bondic is going to get greeted by Edward. Snuffs him, and we're into a 3-on-3, which favors NaVi.
Flamey's just collected the bomb now. Where do they want to go? They've got Edward still kind of by Pop. They've got Flamey working around by Connector. Zeus, if he could sell anything over by BK, maybe keep Welded it here, and that's exactly what he's done. He's put down that little bit of a smoke there. That's going to keep Welded it, dedicated towards B, focusing maybe towards upper. Have they pushed out? But look at Edward. Just snaking his way through towards Connector. He's going to lock that one completely down. Now, Blade can be a changing factor in this, but, all right, jumping headshots will do just the same thing as well.
Edward freaking out a little bit.
He's like, what have I done?
And, well, now we've got the lurk coming in here from Blade. He might be the man to catch out Zeus, because Chara's taking out Edward. There's the pick onto Zeus. Now a 1v2 for Flamey. Some damage has been suffered here. Blade, he's been tagged up a little bit. Chara as well. Nice jumping shot there from Flamey. Manages to catch him midair. We'll see. Can Chara actually, create the space to get this defuse in? Because now it's a one-on-one. Flamey, he successfully turned it into the series of duels. And once again, he's going to come through in the clutch for his team. And so that is going to be 9 rounds starting on the CT side here for NaVi in the second half. That is a perfect scoreline for them. If they pick up this pistol round, it's going to get nasty for Flipside.
I just find it so impressive to watch NaVi on their T side, specifically on this map. I feel they're one of the only teams initially, the new version of Train came out, to look this proficient on this side. No one's kind of kept up with the consistency of what they can bring, at least in my eyes. A couple of teams getting close. I feel
Luminosity can
Luminosity can definitely fight a good fight on this one as well. It's just, I absolutely love watching these guys. But again, like some of these shots, like Edward's jumping headshot here. What? I guess that makes up for getting wallbanged at a random start of a round. We just had that's like, really? That's great.
I guess he hit the scroll or something while.
Yeah. If you have jump on mouse
the IntelliMouse, basically, bug or whatever, is that what he's going to clean?
Dude, I get on the freaking Steel Series Kana like every time. It's great.
Nice. The Kana?
Yeah. It's really small, and it's like I have tiny, weird hands, so I have to get like really small
Oh,
mouse.
you don't use that little razor mouse? There's a tiny razor mouse as well. That's actually really funny.
I might try it out though. Who knows? Anyway, my weird hands aside. Flipside on the T side now. NaVi, CT side, as you said, great start for them.
You look hard, Pansy. Small hands. You don't smell like cabbage, at least. So.
Oh, thank you. That's nice. I bathed last week, so, you know, I thought I'd treat you guys right. But at least Flipside do have the advantage to start with now.
So that's when, you know, ESL, they got the hose out.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's nice of them, you know?
Yeah, it's like if I make any bad comments on Twitter or anything, the hose comes out.
The hose comes
Yeah,
out.
and
You're
I
just
put the
like,
lotion in the
sweet."
basket. It's good times.
Well, 4-on-4 situation for Flipside. They're on the T side. They still got utility on Blade, so that's nice. And they are closing in for this split onto A. Quick rotation is possible for Edward, who's playing in connector, so we'll see how quickly he's going to be able to make his way over to this A site. Seeing as how the smoke has gone down. And so Flipside, they shouldn't be wasting too much time. The smoke on connector is going to kind of eliminate the option to rotate in quickly unless Zeus manages to hold his ground and pick up a headshot. And he does. He delivers, only to get dunked on by a nade. Sick flick from Guardian. The second one as well. Could go for the third, but Edward will rob him of the pleasure. Still, 3 kills for Guardian in the pistol round. And NaVi just completely blindside Flipside in that round.
What is with Guardian, that P2K? I don't see anyone else using it the way he does. It's almost like he has a USPS at that point. It's just so accurate. I remember I think it was Mirage on CT side when he was playing in window. We saw him doing this sort of dance back and forward. And again, hitting ridiculous shots like that. But, all right, Flipside, you lose the first. In the second half now, what do you do with this one? You've got P250s, Tech 9s, Deagles, and a little touch of utility to work with. But again, you can kind of expect those slower rounds, a slower pace to be coming out of Flipside. You know, 40-second marker. Not quite maybe to NaVi's extent, but still. But look at NaVi here. Aggression on the CT side, trying to get the information. Seized is already pushed up, as is Flamey. Now NaVi know exactly where Flipside want to go, and even with just those pistols, they're going to be outdone, outnumbered, and pretty much surrounded and seized. Seized. There we go, seized. And the plant does go down at least, so actually Flipside getting something out of this round.
Jesus, that was ugly.
And it starts with 2v2.
This round is ugly. Somehow NaVi, they've let this get into a 2-on-2 situation. Guardian, you'll establish a balance in the universe by removing Blade, right? Kills the vampire. Drives a stake into his heart, removes the head, burns the body. And another round on the board for NaVi, but definitely an expensive one. I mean, come on. That was all over the place. NaVi, I think we're just getting a little bit too giddy. You know, like, yeah, everything's going so well for us, guys. Guys? Yeah.
Where have 3 of you gone, guys? I don't know how that happens. I really don't. When you look at that, they had the 2 players getting perfect information from B. They're already pushed up almost by pop. And by that point, you saw NaVi trading out so ineffectively. But it did allow another plant to come in. So Flipside now have the buy coming out. They have the rifles. They have limited utility, but enough to work with. And Edward going on Max 7. I assume he's going to be playing pop, just kind of sitting at the bottom, just waiting for his chance to pounce. And Guardian going through massive push towards Ivy, and the 2 players waiting here. Blade being one of them, Markov closer. I don't know if they've spotted him out. They must have seen him cross, and Markov, no, what? How did Blade not see him then?
Wow. Oh, Guardian even hangs around to go for a little bit of a fight there. Could have just got out for free. Instead, he gets tagged down to 19. Important bit, though, is that he stays alive. So, as far as NaVi is concerned, that went great for them. If Edward could hit the second shot here on the Bonder, there we go. Gets the headshot in the end. Now has a Galil to work with. And everything, yeah, continues to go well for NaVi. It's funny how that works out sometimes.
They are good at carving out their own sort of benefits, let's say. So we're down to Blade, Shara, and World Edit. Now the bomb's yet to be picked up. Blade, kind of just looking for anyone out of position, anyone peeking a little needlessly, trying to find a bit of a foothold towards the A side. But Guardian sitting in pretty well, tucked in towards Upper City in Heaven, just holding that kind of play between Train 1 and Blade does find him, actually. Pretty low HP, I guess, at that point. So now it's down to Zeus and Edward, and they're the last 2 holding onto the site. Flamey's pretty far away, but Zeus does the work regardless, and now Flamey watching that cross, sprays wildly. Does get a fairly good tag towards Sharison now. Flipside down to 2, have to make this work, and Zeus is having none of it.
How the hell does Zeus, who is already low, survive that? He should have been dead 100% of the time. 20 seconds left now for Shara. He's surrounded, and he's hunting for Zeus. At least he knows where one of the guys is playing from, but he will lose the duel in the end versus Zeus. Somehow gets the kill there. Everybody low on Navi's side. That's just one of those teeth that makes you grind your... I mean, one of those rounds, rather, that makes you grind your teeth for Flipside. Because you came so close on Edward and Zeus. Yeah. Seized and Flamey. Everybody so very low. Yeah, how the hell? He was on 5 HP the entire time. World
Took
Edit.
down 2 players with 5 HP.
You see, it was just like, for World Edit, there were too many bullets involved. You know, he's just used to the op, where it's just like 1 bullet, and that much he can handle. But when he starts spraying, it's just like chaos and too much confusion for him, man. He just can't handle it.
And well, Flipside have nothing. You can see it, like Guardian knows it, you know, well aware of what they're coming up against. Just going to be going on the SMG to go for a little walkabout, and he's just powering straight down Ivy. He's basically behind them at this point, so NaVi know what's coming their way. Edward and Zeus can be farming it up. They do lose out on one, which is Edward going down. So a little needless, bearing in mind there is only P250s, even just a Glock on World Edit. Like, such a minimal investment, and Guardian finally makes it to the party and picks up one.
Hi, guys. Shows up, chucks away that MP9. He doesn't need it. He's going to get his AWP now. And solid economy for NaVi. And it's basically backs to the wall for Flipside. It's time to get something done here. And I'm curious to see what Blade elects to do. What's going to be the call to try and break this NaVi defense? Because they have played passively, waiting for the push, and that hasn't worked for them. They've played a little bit aggressively. That also has not really panned out. So Blade must be feeling a little stumped right now, just like, well, what is the solution here, guys? Can somebody get me a headshot? That'd be nice. You know, make my life a little bit easier here as the caller. And there you go, World Edit. He delivers. Zeus will pick up one, but he's effectively traded by Blade. And this is it. Flipside, they're close enough to pounce off of these entries.
Yeah, good stuff. I think Zeus got caught out as what it did seem earlier, just leaping over towards the ladder, so assumed he'd be peeking his head up at some point, and Flamey now assuming the same wants to train one, but there you go, Blade finds him. It's now 4v2. This should be Flipside, but C's down to 5 HP. Doesn't make that a clean trade out, but he does get found eventually by World Edit. Now just Guardian, but Guardian can do
ugly.
these things sometimes that I don't doubt, but shouldn't be able to work this one out.
No, he shouldn't, especially because there's already a man waiting for him in alley. Should be an easy situation here for Markov, unless he gets shot in the back. There is just a little bit of an edge on that smoke, but he's not going to peek. Markov not going to show himself. And with 45 seconds left, they're going off the information that Bondic is clearly communicating to them that B site is open. Nobody is here. Guardian, the monster, you know, he's in his coffin for the night. He's not here. You know, it's still sunlight out. Why is everybody a vampire tonight? I don't know. World Edit is dead. Or Guardian is dead now. World Edit gets the kill. But, yeah. Well, Blade, I can get it, right?
Yeah, Blade is there.
Blade is Blade.
I can't. Edward from maybe going for a Twilight reference if you want to really sink that low. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
I didn't even see that connection.
I'm so sorry. I've hit a new low, which is actually impressive. I feel ashamed of what I've done here, but...
well, are you Team Edward or what the werewolf? Are you Team Furry?
Oh,
what,
no, Semmler.
Are we going here?
No, Semmler. That's too low. What about Edward? God, he sparkles. Jesus. But getting back to the game for now, while I try and save myself any slither of dignity that I may have remaining, and it's slim. Let's see what Flipside can do, because they've got a chance. There's a shot at redemption here. Who knows?
Yeah, exactly. World Edit knows. World Edit remembers. Takes out Guardian again. And so man advantage here for Flipside. They're actually starting to get some momentum going their way, which is nice to see. World Edit not going to get caught off guard by Edward, and now he's got the high ground advantage as well. Doesn't see the man in Sniper, though, so that could be a little awkward for him down the line, but they are prepared for Zeus, who's playing... Well, I was saying that they were prepared for Zeus. He nearly gets the follow-up. He actually does get the follow-up on Ashara. And now, well, World Edit's in position to shut down Flamey, who's been lurking up in Sniper. Markov will get the last kill, but a fantastic round from World Edit, putting that off to good use. Quad kill in the end for him.
This is the thing, when everyone always goes on about World Edit and, like, you know, he's inconsistent, and I always seemingly see the games where he's not playing well, if I'm honest. He always gets kind of pressured down, he gets kind of beaten in, but right now, we're seeing the World Edit that people actually want to see. That the guy, when he turns up, he's absolutely sick. And that 4K was hard fought for. That was not an easy 4K. It wasn't, you know, against a team being needlessly aggressive. He fought for those kills. So NaVi now forced down to the pistol. P250's a CZ. And then not much else. But they are going to stack out on the B side. They're kind of playing, I guess, Edward and Flamey tucked up their sleeve at this point. Zeus maybe going to try and feed himself to the Wolves as a bit of tasty bait to encourage them to play towards that B side. So let's see if Flipside take it and see if anyone actually falls to this trick.
Ooh, well, Edward is in position to pick up one kill at least. He will survive for another as well. Does make it a little bit more expensive here in the end. Guardian has rotated in with that P250 and he's been spotted. Will not find a lucky headshot. So he gets dropped down to half HP. Dodges the nade successfully, but will get followed up on. So nice and neat. Flipside, they give up 2 kills, which is pretty good for NaVi considering that was pretty much a hard eco for them. Hardly any investment at all to speak of. So, you know, good work from NaVi, but I think right now Flipside are more like, okay, we got another round on the board, guys. You know, let's go. We got this. Starting to get the ball rolling a little bit. Are you feeling it? Because I'm feeling it, right? World Edit, he's just like, it's online. Of course I'm feeling it, bro. Of course I'm feeling it. Let's go.
If World Edit keeps this up, why not? But again, last time these two met, it was, what, 16-10? So I need to see more than that, and that's exactly how you want these rounds to start. Bondix followed it up towards Flamey, so we're down to already a 5v3. Instantly, these kills are coming in so thick, so fast. This is not like a normal game I'm watching between these two teams. Normally it's slow, cautious, this kind of more classic CS style, but now we're seeing a little bit of aggression with Flipside, and Edward may be caught out here, but Guardian supporting him from the side, picks up Shara, and he can get back to what he was doing at the start, trying to find Blade and World Edit, but Markelov's on the way as well, and NaVi are going to be outdone at this point.
There we go. The nades started to come into play. That was what I was waiting for, because they do have that advantage still. Flipside, Bomb is not going to be able to make its way onto that train just yet. Guardian is going to be able to shut down World Edit, so that's it. He's been deleted off the server. And it's a 3-on-3 at this point. So NaVi have got both of the back lines. The issue here is that they only have a single smoke, and that's on Bondic. So they need to get that guy into position somehow to block off this back line that's currently being occupied by Guardian. Just cut this op out. They are not getting anything out of it so far. 45 seconds. It's basically Flipside just running down this clock now, hoping that NaVi are going to get impatient. But NaVi, because they have the man over on B site, they can just sit here and wait and see if Flipside are going to be the ones to go for the peak. And there it is. A little bit of information gained. Edward spots the man.
So now Flipside going to try and respond accordingly. Blade's going to get the bomb planted. Safe enough for now. Actually do manage to back away from it. Sees does spray in, does catch the heels of one. I think that was Markelov. Nade comes out, but the timing's not on Markelov's side. He gets pressured at the perfect moment for Edward to come out victor on that trade. So now 3v2, Blade and Bondic. Bondic still has a molly, so could possibly find some time to use this. There it comes in, buys a bit of time, gets the frag, and there's a follow-up. Blade finds Edward, and now Guardian left in the 1v2. More than possible for this man, but I don't think he wants to go for it. No, indeed. He's going to back away from this one. He has no kit as well, so looking for the exits. Let's see that money as well, actually. I think you're onto a bit of a point there. Yeah, NaVi are looking pretty skint.
They got no Skrilla. They need to talk to Thor and, work out some kind of, lease program or something. Or he'll just, start sending them some money because they need it right now. 33 grand across the board for NaVi. So that's basically why Guardian is hesitating at that moment. Guardian also might be just a little bit frustrated that his teammates were, able to throw away a, a man advantage like that so quickly. But again, retakes on A are so annoying sometimes because there's just so much room, so many angles that you have to worry about. So even with a man advantage, it can be a nightmare because some guy's going to peek out from behind a train that you weren't expecting because you were focused on the 10 other angles that you're worried about.
I want to say, I love the way that Flipside are abusing the fact that NaVi didn't have that much of an economy built up. They didn't have the nades, they didn't have the initial stopping power towards, like T-Con, T-Main, however you want to call it. And, then you saw World Edit pretty much just power straight out. Blade was there with him. This is really nice CS coming out from Flipside. But they've got to be careful. These rounds, we know that NaVi can do damage. I think everyone's seen that P250 clip by Edward by now. He's no slouch with this gun, so be aware of that. And already the reminder comes out, ringing pretty true, as Seas does find Shara. We're down to 4 players now for the T side.
It's not looking too pretty here. It's not looking too pretty. Still a decent situation for Flipside. A little bit ugly for NaVi, though. That's what I'm referring to at this point, Still on pistols. And so they should be able to just, keep things under control here, Flipside. Not throw it away. A little bit of a scary moment here for Markelov, considering he's alone. Guardian. Pulls the trigger, picks Markelov off, and with one shot, he brings it to a 2-man advantage now for NaVi.
That's terrifying, isn't it? The timing's so perfect.
Wrecked.
You've got to be... That's a tilting moment if I've ever seen one. Now, Blade can be found pretty much unawares there, and actually almost does get caught out. And slowly but surely, Flipside are looking weaker and weaker, and we're going to see them trying to turn this one back in their favor. Flamey is having none of it. Blade gets cut out, and now Bondic and World Edit left going, what the hell has happened this round? Because it's all fallen apart. NaVi have the guns. Guardian gets the kill. And a round that should have been simple for Flipside ended up looking a bit shoddy, if I'm honest.
Yeah, exactly, because, Simple's not here anymore. So... It's just a hard life for Flipside, hard life for World Edit, who's, 2 frags away from dropping a 30 bomb. And yet Flipside still not able to keep it together here, still not able to take on the best CIS team in the region. Very frustrating moment for Flipside.
Now we've got the double AWP. You've got NaVi back in control, decent bit of money built up, Blade sod all to work with, and the thing that was working for Flipside was that aggression, that quick play, but now with all those mollies there, the nades there, the flashes, it's going to be back again to this kind of ground down rounds that take time, that take perseverance, which really Flipside going to be maybe waning on at the moment, as Markelov going to be having to go back to this same alley where he's just kind of getting outdone by Guardian at the moment, but at least this time he does have something more to work with.
Well, they don't lack that, right? Flipside, they don't lack perseverance, right? But they're just that guy that's on the ground right now that's like trying to fight back, except that Guardian is just stomping him in the head repeatedly. And Guardian is just saying, like, stay down! Stay down! Flipside just keeps trying to get up, and Guardian just keeps kicking him in the head. It's a horrible thing, right? But that's what seems to happen every time. It just happens every time. They need a ref to come in there and actually, like, pull Guardian off this guy. Nice shot by Edward.
So, NaVi, 4 players standing. He's still got the double ops in, so he can... I wouldn't write this one off just yet, but still. Flipside's starting to kind of tighten the noose here. They've got a couple of players starting to work up towards Ivy, while it being one of them. Nade does catch him, considering he's a glass cannon at this point. That's actually pretty deadly. He needs to be careful to keep himself in this, but look at the speed up and pace. He's trying to get the angle here, and Zeus somehow stays alive and doesn't go down. We're still seeing the pinch coming, and Blade's working his way out. Bondic, though, is he going to head out from top? Yes, he is. So here we go. Zeus now has to hold these two back, and he's doing great deals of damage, but it hasn't closed them down. Siege finds Blade. And now we're going back and forth in these trades. NaVi staying pretty healthy, but getting picked up in the end. And finally, the players come out from Ivy. Finally, they get the bomb down. It's all into Flamey's hands. He gets down 2. It's into a 1v1. Markelov has to step up here.
Do they have any idea where Markelov is coming from, though? It doesn't look like it. This is just unfortunate for Flamey. He gets a double spray. Oh, what? Markelov! Markelov. That's just painful. No. Yeah, I know. That's just like, no. No, that's just painful, man. Markelov, you're gonna be. That's that moment where you're just like, why didn't I just walk out for another like 2 steps? How does I mean he was so low on HP as well, a single bullet, right? So Flamey, all he has to do is just whip around, get his crosshair on Markelov, and pull the trigger. And yeah, I mean the train catches a couple of those bullets. Ah, that's so painful.
And now NaVi are on that point. That's just to add insult to injury. Now they're even close to closing this one out, and what a way to do it as well. It's going to be gutting for Markelov. But, yeah, NaVi's economy is looking pretty healthy. They're fine now. They can coast this one out pretty much, and Flipside are going to have to do whatever they can. It's back to the wall time. It's bring out everything you got to try and close this one down, and a little bit devastating to lose the exact same scoreline if they do, as the last time they met against this side. So, again, Markelov and Guardian, the battle continues. This time not with much to work with.
Markelov versus his old mates. It was pretty cool at the major that we got to get a picture of them all together again, right? That was pretty slick. Yeah, a jumping headshot from World Edit. Zeus just can't catch a break right now. Guardian going to miss his shot. And so, Flipside, they found their opening. And will there be the follow-up? No, Guardian just not able to connect. He gets tagged down with the scout, and that's a scary moment for him. He's going to have to back off and play it a little bit safer here. Does change up the angle, but that's where Zeus died, so you don't really want to give World Edit another chance to hit a jumping headshot.
Started pulling towards the side. Actually, this is when Flipside want to hammer it home, and they were doing well until Ceased and Edward started to come into the factor on the bomb side itself, but it's down to a 2v2. Ceased is low. That's still very much a possibility, and there it is. World Edit and Markelov make up for what happened previously, and World Edit again at the helm of this.
Yep. And so Flipside, that's why you never stop trying to get up, Pansy. You know, they grabbed Guardian's ankle, twisted it, he falls to the ground, and they got a chance, right? They're just rolling around in the mud right now. So we'll see which way it goes. Can Flipside, you know, get Guardian into a sleeper hold or something like that and actually manage to, you know, get this to overtime? Or was, you know, Guardian hiding a knife the whole time and it gets nasty? I mean, we'll see. We'll find out in a moment because NaVi right now, they're sitting on an eco round. So Flipside have a little bit of a chance to breathe here. Yeah.
But again, they lost these rounds last time, and so what were we talking about? A knife maybe coming out? I think he's just pulled out maybe a little something more, but jeez, what a start.
That was really, really sick, actually. Because it's just an angle, right? But I mean, it's just, of course, it's Guardian who's just like, actually, I know you've been playing this spot the whole half, so you know what? I'm just going to come out here, pre-fire that real quick. Get the headshot on World Edit, and, you know, continue on with his life. He's not going to be able to recover the gun, but that's put a lot of pressure here on Flipside.
Yeah. And he's done more than his worth at this point now. He's truly happy with that. Shara spotted out, I think, possibly Zeus then playing on B side, but Flipside looks so hesitant. They look so scared. Oh god, Blade, no! Ceased finds Blade. This is worrying. So now they did have a gun, but that gets removed away. So Bondic kind of trades it out. So back to a 3v3. They have control of A. The rest of NaVi are all over by B. This should be now pretty much done and dusted. This should be round on the board for Flipside.
Yeah, this should, exactly. If they group up together, they're covering the different entrances. Flamey knows that there has to be somebody lurking around Pop Dog, so he's taking his time with that. Going to see if these teammates can't draw the attention elsewhere, and Edward somehow survives. Flamey will get the drop on Shara, and now Flamey has that Galil to work with, but no Kevlar to mitigate the shots, and Bonic will land the final kill on Edward. So good recovery by Flipside. It was a little dicey for sure, but they do manage to actually, take the long-range fights in the end. And that's really where Flamey with that CZ, we didn't see the kill, but it could have been him just dropping down, and up close at the CZ, it's just sucky situation for Shara.
Yeah, and I guess at least they kept it in check. So for Flipside, they live to fight another day. It's 15-12 now, but this is NaVi back on a bye again. And Flipside, well, it's still sticking with the Scout. I guess he couldn't really upgrade to much more at that point. No, he couldn't, so fair enough. He's just going to stick on that one. So it does mean he's going in against a disadvantage if Guardian does manage to take out that fight. But already NaVi going to push pretty close. You've got Zeus and Edward closing in towards main. They're going to be trying to get a bit more of an aggressive play from this, or just get that map control pressure. Flipside. And actually, look at this. A little bit of a duo of doom. And actually, the swing out coming in from Wilder, it could have been deadly then, but only a tag towards Edward as Guardian does find Blade, and we're going to go back and forth again.
Don't think he spotted the man moving up on alley, though. So Guardian, he's under threat. He's got to be a little bit careful about that backstab that could come in. He sees that smoke go up, though, so that's going to be a signal. Should tell him, okay, time to back off, take a little bit more of a passive angle. Flamey's thinking otherwise, though. He's actually going to just push up, catch World Edit looking the wrong way, and World Edit with that Scout, not the best weaponry to deal with the flank like that. Bondic is only, he's on 3 HP right now. Kind of curious to see how he's going to get used here because Shara and Markaloff both have full HP, so they should group up and kind of just, funnel, either sack him and just let him run in first, or you put in Shara who can take some hits, and then Bondic just has to have that no fear approach where he steps in and tries to confirm the kill.
Okay, so Caesar's the one here early, and I think the rest of NaVi are kind of getting the idea that this is probably going to be a B hit. Already Guardian's sitting pretty far back, and still Shara hits the shot. Caesar was holding that angle for quite some time, so the bomb's going to probably go down here, but bearing in mind how low Bondic is, he's just going to be playing to do that one molly to that one spot, I can imagine, and Flamey and Guardian going to go for this retake, and hell, they're doing pretty well at it so far. Yeah,
that's the incendiary, the one nade, and they actually make it count. Guardian not going to get caught off guard by Markaloff. That was the guy with the HP, and now it's Bondic. He's got a good set of nades to work with, but he's staring into a wall right now. Is he expecting some kind of lurk? Did he DC?
No. Bondic?
Oh, wait, there he is. He's back. Bomb is getting defused, though. No kit, but it's working out perfectly. Do they actually have the line on him? They don't have the line on him. He has no idea what's going on, and it will be the end. NaVi, they pick up their win versus Flipside. 16-12 in the end. Bondic with a little bit of a moment there.
That was the